everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Altadena Talks. We are at episode 310, and I am one of your co-hosts, Brian Bacchus.
I am another Jamal Smith, a.k.a. Big Al Roker. What's happening, y'all? We'll talk about the weather in a little bit.
Y'all know who I am.
You know why I said that, right?
The more I look at me, I'm kind of like, oh, it's a little accurate.
So, Tony, I've been making caricatures of our like little thumbnails that go on YouTube to put as the splash page when you go look at the
you and these caricatures
at these things. So, yeah, one of these days when you actually look at the channel, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to show you. I'm just going to let you
show her. I'm about to show her right now.
I ain't scared because I know you did something just stupid. So
why is it stupid though? It's not dumb. It's just that's the way.
Like funny stupid. Do you not know that stupid has several meanings?
No. It's all.
No, Jamal.
You guys just
talk about how he came.
I'm not pissed off. I think it's hilarious more than anything else. That's why I said go ahead and use it. It's funny. Look.
Yeah, don't check with mine first. Yeah, that don't look like me.
It's your glasses.
But it looks more like you and Brian than it does me.
It's not supposed to look exactly like you.
You have no neck whatsoever. Yeah, you're going to have to change those two, Brian and me. I mean, Jamal.
I know. Look, unless y'all make them and send them to me, I'm not changing nothing because this takes all day to do.
I don't care. I just think I look like Al Roker, so that's why I said it.
It's just so funny that he said that. I didn't see it until he said it. Like, oh, yeah.
But now again, when I look at
Jamal Roker,
Jamal Roker here,
Jam Al Roker.
Oh my gosh! So what's happening today, Tony?
Brian does not have enough things to do, apparently.
No, that's when I have a lot to do, but then I need something to make me laugh for a
take a little break.
I love it when it comes up with it.
So what's on the agenda today?
Today is general discussion because you rescheduled one of your guests.
So Jamal said, what's on the agenda today? Not a daggone thing.
So daggone thing is what we're talking about?
Not a daggone thing. Except what I do want to do is, thank you, President Marcus. What I do want to do is give some shout outs today to some people. One that is very special to the community. She has been on the show 2 or 3 times. Once it was a messed up, couldn't get her sound right or whatever, and she came back. But she's done some grieving workshops. She's helped a lot of people. She's given away some free therapy sessions and all that. That is Dr. Demetria Clark. Today is her birthday. Woo-hoo! So we want to give a special shout out to her and tell her happy birthday, happy birthday. Because she's from Medina and she's doing amazing things in her community. So thanks for all that you do, Dr. Clark, and happy birthday. You're probably not watching it. You might be therapizing somebody. But
therapizing.
Homogenizing therapy.
Happy birthday, Tutu.
Thank you for all that you do and have done.
Dr. Arthur.
Wish you the very bestest birthday this year.
Yeah.
And then I just want to take a minute, really, not like a moment of silence, but I just was thinking, we're 14 months in, almost 15 months in, and there's so many people that are still really struggling, like living in their cars, and unhoused. ALE has run out. Others are blessed and still have it, but others are fighting with their insurance companies. There are lots and lots of people that didn't have total loss, and their insurance companies are taking them through hell and back and dragging them. And anything over $1,000, they want receipts and pictures and proof.
Yeah, it's like they're doing it on purpose, trying to hurt these.
And so I just want to give a shout out to all the survivors and thrivers out there, really, really, really having the resilience that is so needed in this past almost 15 months. Being resilient, being able to cope regardless of age, from little toddler children who lost houses, schools, whatever, all the way up through the elderly that are 100 years old. It takes a whole lot to deal with foolishness in life, period. And when life, sometimes that sucks. But to go through everything they're going through and still have shenanigans from whomever, the insurance, the county, whoever, is disgusting. And so I just want to give a shout out and say that even if you feel as though you're not seen or not heard, you really are. Not just by attorneys that are knocking at your door trying to get you to go with them. Because yes, they'll get you whatever, is owed you, quote unquote, unowed, but they're going to make a profit too, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be out here stalking you down to trying to get you to represent them. So that's obviously for us in Altadena, the Eaton fire survivors and thrivers is what I prefer to call them. And even Palisades, Malibu, I think some of Hollywood Hills burned last year in the fires. But it's tough. And I don't take for granted at any time. Like I went to visit my parents yesterday and I was sitting on the phone for a few minutes. And by the time I was getting ready to get out the car, I saw my mom pulling off. So I honked a couple times. She didn't hear me. I literally had to chase her down. And she pulled over and she was like, hey. I was like, hey, girl, what you doing? She said, oh, getting ready to go to my class, her line dance class, down at Jackie Robinson or something. I was like, okay, have fun. I said, where's my daddy? She said, in the house. And he was having some issues, right? With just, he has Parkinson's, some things like that. So I knocked on the door, probably 20 minutes later or so. He didn't answer the door. And so I said, well, he might be asleep at this point. I'm not going to stress. So I went to visit my sister who's across the way from them. And he was getting ready to proxy. She's a adjunct professor at was it LMU? I think so. Or somewhere out there. Anyway, I think LMU. And she was going to proctor an exam and everything online. So she was eating something real quick. But, she was a renter. And she's like, I'm glad mom and dad are finally at the point where they're going to rebuild and they'll be going back home in, a few months, 6 months, whatever it is. She said, but I got to figure out what I'm going to do because she's still displaced in Azusa and doesn't want to be there. So I'm like, oh, yeah. She said, I have to take a step back because for the last, year, 12 months, 14 months, whatever, I've been trying to make sure mom and dad are good. But there's times our mother can be challenging and our father at times too, but he pushes stuff off on our mom. So even in that, if she's being challenging, it's like, I still gotta say, yeah, but I'm not their age, right? 83 and 88 going through and having lost everything in the house they've been in since 1968. So I just want to really acknowledge everyone that is keeping their head up and pushing through, and know that you are seen and you are heard and you are loved, and show people some grace and some empathy. Because you're right, Marcus, I do believe that these insurance companies' whole job, as we know, is to wear people down and not pay out, or even outlive some people, right? If they're older, maybe we'll wear them down and they won't live through this. And that's despicable, it's sad, it's horrible, and it should not be. So I just wanted to take today, after the first happy birthday to Dr. Tutu, or Dr. Demetria Clark, to say that, because oftentimes people feel like they have despair, even though they know their whole community, or 85, 90% of the community has gone through this. Sometimes you get isolated so many people are still wherever they're living outside of the Altadena area, and you're not around your friends, your family, all the people, your neighbors who became to an extent family, right? Your neighborhood. You're not doing your regular walks and might see a coyote or a bobcat or a skunk or a raccoon or, a possum or the normal things that Altadena, what we see, out on walks, occasionally a mountain lion or a bear, right? Hopefully not face to face, although we do know that has happened, but generally in a backyard or on a Ring camera or something like that. But I really just wanted to take a minute of the show, a few moments of the show, to really talk about that, to acknowledge people, and let them know that you absolutely are not alone. We continue to do this, and this is episode 310, so that we can be a resource for the community for however long, we don't know. But for Brian, the way it started was therapy for him. Jamal was right there egging him on. Go live again, make a podcast, do it. And a week later,
do it.
And a week later, they tricked me and wrangled me in to say, can you come on our show? I said, sure. On a Tuesday, I thought it was coming on that one show. And a year later, I am still here with these knucklehead brothers.
Give me power.
But from our hearts at Altadena Talks to everybody that watches us, that supports, that has shared, that has liked, that has subscribed on our YouTube, we feel it deeply. The loss is palatable for each and every one of us. And know that even though we're every day showing up, we still grieve. We still get emotional. We're right there with you. And know that you are felt, you are seen, you are heard, you are loved. And keep your heads up. Keep fighting them jokers. Edison, your insurance, whoever. Just know every day you can just wake up and say, you know what? I woke up again today. I still have purpose and I still have fight in me, and fight them until you get what you deserve. It may be in a year, it may be 2 or 3, it may be 5 years. Have whatever kind of patience you need to have. Settle in temporarily where you are, because this is not your forever life. But always do what's going to be best for you mentally, physically, emotionally. Make sure you go to the gym, go and walk something, still be active, and do what's going to be absolute best for you and your mental, your physical, everything, your person as a whole, right? Because this is trauma that will be with you forever, but it can be better. Your days can be brighter. Just keep the faith. And if you don't have none, get some. But really, I just want to take a minute and really acknowledge all of you that are still living the senseless nightmare, is what I'll call it, with insurance every day. So keep your head up, keep fighting the good fight, and keep pushing forward every day, however you can. Hey, Mrs. Smith. So that's what I kind of wanted to take a minute and focus on. I did speak with someone last night that was considering coming on the show, and then she realized she had a homegoing service today that she had forgotten about. So she may be on Thursday. I'm not sure, but we'll figure out her date and make that announcement when it happens. But I just want everybody to be as well as they can, take care of themselves the best way that they can. That's it.
Here. I echo it. I mean, thank you, Toni.
Echo. No, I'm just saying.
That reminded me of the 60 Minutes at the end where they have the little editorial, and the guy gives you about the good 5-8 minutes of what, moving forward in life and stuff. So that was needed.
Fully forward. Oh, that was a good plug, Brian. Thank you. moving forward in life. So you guys know I started my own podcast called Fully Forward, and it is just about that, being unstuck, being unstagnant, or making you so that you can completely and entirely have momentum and movement every single day of your life, so you can get past whatever you're dealing with, get through it, and then put it past you and just continue forward momentum always and move forward. So if you want to follow us, we are both on YouTube. I have my YouTube channel, Fully Forward Podcast, and then on IG, Fully Forward. And
Why don't you put all that in the thing so we can pop it up?
Oh, the links?
Yeah.
Okay. In a private chat? Okay, I will. I just thought about it when you said about moving forward every day. I was like, oh, yeah, that's my podcast. So
There was a commercial that was out back in the day, and the song was "Looking Forward," blah 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 blah. So I was thinking of that as a jingle for him. Fully forward, here we go. Gonna make sure your day is brighter. Fully forward.
you're so dumb.
I know, I'm so dumb.
Not you know the whole song and are singing it like verbatim. That's
I was actually switching the words up to fit your moniker.
no, you know, mine has that sultry song.
Wade in the water.
That's not sultry. No.
That's so funny. This guy said, you know, there was a post that said, who was the most popular person to ever come from your high school? He said, Harriet Tubman. I said, she the only one that came from your school?
But that's because we have tons of like famous people that went to here. It's norm for us. It ain't norm for everybody else. Because we're used to it. Like, oh, we could rattle them off. Jackie Robinson.
Well, we got a whole city.
Blah, 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 blah. All these football athletes, right? Anthony Miller, track stars.
Everybody.
Rattle them all off for us. But that's not everybody, Brian.
I know, but it's just so funny to see. I said, was that the only person that went to your school that
Might have been, yeah.
And he said, yep. I said, wow.
Right.
That's all I said.
Yeah, because we're very.
I mean, she was the most prominent person. I mean, if you're going to pick somebody to go to your school that's like famous.
Right.
Harriet Tubman is at the top 5.
Top.
Not number 2 or 1.
Up there.
At the top.
I mean, all the stuff that I said, I told you, I said, all the people that came in, nobody's going to top her.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah. So, but that's funny because we're so used to it, right?
Right.
And other people are like, nah, bro. I mean, but that's just like we take for granted. B has had his coffee, right? Like playing in the Rose Bowl for homecoming. Like, other than sometimes they have those CIF state games there, we are literally the only high schools, 2 of us and our rival, that play our homecoming game in the Granddaddy Stadium in Pasadena, right? The Rose Bowl, which everybody for college tries to get to for that New Year's game. And then, you know, like I said, every now and then now they've started having a couple of the CIF state championships for the Southern section for CIF in the Rose Bowl. But then they went to SoFi. So they're not even doing that. So the fact is, like, we kind of, because we're from here, take some of it, I think, for granted, just because that's who we are, because it's our norm. But yeah, we got a laundry list of people that we could just rattle off that went to Muir that went on to be amazing, from scientists to, you know, you name it. And then other people, not so much.
Well, you know, we do have our 2 supporting biggest fan schools called Blair and Marshall. Can't leave them out because they do attend. I do see a few of them show up every now and again. I think most of them sit on PHS side, but it's all good. I mean, whenever you guys want to come and sit on the winning side of the spectrum, the invite's always open.
Early in the morning. So hi, Heavenly. She just joined and she asked, I know I've missed some of the episodes. Have you talked about the civil rights discrimination enforcement investigation by the Attorney General into regarding the response to the West Side Altadena? So we haven't specifically talked about it like that, Heavenly. But again, I try to have accuracy, and the narrative that's out there is not 100% accurate. And you and I have talked about this because you told me you didn't even know that the West Side does not start at Lake. It starts at Fair Oaks. And so that's where East and West addresses are. But people keep saying they forgot about us on the West Side. And when you ask people, well, where was your house? And they tell you on Marengo. And right, on Marengo and Palm, it's like you didn't live on the West Side. And they go, yes, I didn't. No, you didn't. What was your address? And they rattle off whatever, East Palm or East whatever. You didn't live on the West Side. People that died, not everybody lived on the West Side.
In their address. I mean,
right.
Come on.
Talking about Ernie and Kelly. Lisa and Trevor are dang near like cousins to me. My mama and their mama were tight friends. Miss Kelly didn't live on the West Side. She lived on the East Side of Fair Oaks. So the fact that there is an investigation that's happening, I'm glad about any investigation. However, they keep saying the West Side, and they're including people who passed away that lived on the East Side. And so if the Attorney General does not know the truth and the facts, I don't like that this investigation is going on, which is why I personally haven't brought it up here and talked about it, because we try to be real and accurate. And we have all these people that aren't from here that want to, she said, go Eagles for Marshall.
That's why I was smiling.
Yeah, we have all these people that are not Altadenians that want to get on their talk shows, radio shows, whatever, and push this narrative, and you don't even know what's what, right? And so, not you, Heavenly, but you and I did have the conversation, and you said you were told growing up you couldn't go on the East Side of Lake, and thought that that was the dividing line until we talked about it, I don't know, a month or something ago. And I think that we've got to make sure that if we're talking about factual information, that is just that, and that we don't push a narrative that is half true, half untrue, and then get people like Ben Crump or others to shout it loudly, whether it's on
wait. But here's the thing.
Radio.
Even with Ben Crump, like, did he just side and now is with Edison?
Edison, right.
And
so
you came here in the beginning, got up on the soapbox, we're here to help Altadena get better, and the whole time you was making this plan. Is that how it worked out?
Yeah, so let me just read this too, Heavenly, because I understand what you're saying, and we talked about this, but it's not only, again, when you say West Side, you got to be talking about only west of Fair Oaks. And this statement that you're saying right here is inaccurate. West Side Altadena was a culture built by our Black community. Even the stamp of West Side Altadena was a culture created by community. And then you put West Side Altadena is a culture of community that curated West Altadena, which was inclusive of a significant Black home ownership, Black business, and in the Black community. Yeah, so was the East Side, because a whole lot of Black folks bought houses east of Fair Oaks. Again, people keep saying West Side and making Lake the West line, and that's not it. So let's be real and just say Altadena, and we're concerned about. Thank you. There you go, Marcus. It shouldn't be East or West. It should be Altadena. Exactly. That's part of my point. But because that divides us, period. But if we want the Attorney General to do an investigation into how many African-American lives or homes were lost in the fire, then let's say that. Let's not say it's about Black West Side, because then from Fair Oaks East, you act like there were no Black people. Not you, Heavenly. I'm just saying in general. They act like there were no Black people. And I grew up in East Altadena and east of Lake, but had lots of family and friends that were east of Fair Oaks. So we got to be accurate. I mean, even Zaire Calvin has been on that whole West Altadena thing. Bruh, you lived on East Los Flores between Fair Oaks and Marengo. But he touts the whole West Altadena like, what was your address? And he'll tell you, well, I was on the West Side. No, you weren't. You lived in East Altadena because you lived east of Fair Oaks. So again,
they actually lived north of me, and I lived east of Fair Oaks.
Exactly. So we could be like, oh, we East Siders, right? But we don't care. We're Altadenians, and it should be about all of Altadena. And I'm going to be honest with you, as a Black woman, I don't like the whole thing about just let's do an investigation into the Black people. If we're going to do it, it should be about all of Altadena. And so I hate that people keep trying to divide us either by race, because Altadena is a place that we haven't had a whole lot of racial tensions or whatever the whole time.
Right.
Yes, we had some sheriffs that were raggedy and that targeted African American and Latino, young men, and did some bull crap. And one who everybody knows was Black, Sheriff Underwood, because we all went to school with his sons. But we have to say Altadena, and then if we want to do a subset and say, oh, however, Black Altadena, Latino Altadena, whatever, Altadenians also experienced A, B, C, and D. And can we do an investigation to see? Because if the Attorney General spends taxpayers' money and does an investigation and does his real research and finds out that a lot of people that are talking about West Altadena are talking about West of Lake and finds out that ain't what's considered West Altadena, that's a problem. So we have to be honest and tell the truth, even to the Attorney General, instead of creating a narrative that's all about, oh, we're totally separate. Yes, there's a wonderful culture of Black Altadenians and Latina Altadenians, but let's not forget about the Japanese Altadenians that were redlined and pushed out of Pasadena at the same time as the Black folks. It was those two subsets of people first, the Japanese and the Black folks. So we can't forget about anybody. If I'm gonna talk about the culture I'm from, I'm gonna talk about all those non-white cultures that have been affected, that were redlined, and all of this stuff. So if people don't know history, they need to research that history first, make sure they know it. And then when you're giving the narrative or whatever, again, Heavenly, when I say you, I'm not saying you, meaning whoever's giving the narrative to the attorneys, to the Attorney General, whatever, let's make sure it's factual. Because if it's not, that's going to make all of us look bad, and especially the Black community. So that's the extent right now as what we have talked about it. If you want to come on and talk about it more or whatever, you can. I don't know if Jamal or Brian want to do research on it and then we discuss it. But that's how me personally, not all of Altadena Talks, but that's how Toni feels. Because we got to stop saying West Side Black people. Because Black folks lived all over Altadena, still do, and are rebuilding all over Altadena, not just west of Fair Oaks, which is the west side. If we want to go by a street that makes west from east, it is
I
Fair Oaks.
think every street had diversity because, like, on my street, we got the Robledos, which are Hispanic.
Absolutely.
We got, what's it called? The Birds, who were Black. We had Ali, who was Black, and we had the old lady that lived across the street, who was German, and we had the Mexicans living next door to her, and we had the Black family that rented the house right here, but the white family who owned the family, and the Armenian family that lived right here, and Coach Paul lived up the street.
That's everything. That's what it always has been. And I know you put this up when I was talking, but I wanted to address it and read it. Heavenly, you said, I think there could be two experiences at the same time. I think there could be more than two, because again, it wasn't just Black. It was Latina. It was Armenian.
We are the melting pot.
It was Filipino, everything on all throughout. But in Altadena, yes, we are one Altadena, yet there was a different experience west of Lake for us, immersed in the west of Lake community. Correct. But again, you said West Altadena, and I'm going to say it until I'm purple or I take my last breath. Lake is not the street that makes east from west. Fair Oaks is. So people need to quit saying West Altadena started at Lake, because it's a lie. And I'm going to call it what it is, a bold-faced lie, not, oh, I didn't know. Do research. Now you, Heavenly, whoever needs to do the research. Do the research on Altadena before speaking it, and quit with this bull crap of west of Lake, east of Lake, because it's foolishness.
I see some purple coming right here on your forehead.
Mine because it makes me mad that people keep saying this west of Lake bullshit. And excuse me, y'all know I try my best not to cuss. Yeah, Brian, I know you just did your eyes like that, but that's what it is. It's no west of Lake, east of Lake crap. Fair Oaks is the dividing line. So if you want to say those of us that grew up west of Fair Oaks, have at it, because the addresses from the Postal Service start east as of Fair Oaks. Anything west of that is west. So if we want to get real with where West and East Altadena is, it's from Fair Oaks, not Lake. So that's why we haven't brought this up, because it pisses me off to no end that people keep doing this west and east of Lake crap. Lake is not the street that makes stuff west and east. Fair Oaks is. Okay, Husa. Now I can smile again. I know y'all think I'm absolutely crazy, but it is
we,
what
you know,
I just
we got a new packet of sounds. We got a new packet of sounds. You may hear.
Again, we got people that want to live here now that aren't from Altadena and don't know real history about Altadena, but want to give this narrative, which is crap. And I will say, James Farr and that dude, Martin Gordon or Gordon Martin, whatever his name is, and Tavis Smiley, I don't care if they want to call me, do whatever. It's the truth. Y'all aren't from here. You don't know. You keep giving this bullshit narrative that anybody west of Lake is the west side. And even these white folks that are here now, like Shauna Beard and them, that want to say, oh, they forgot about us on the west side. Hell, they forgot about everybody. If we want to get real, didn't nobody get no damn alerts. We got out because we had enough sense early in the day to say, because maybe God told us whatever, let's pack a bag. Nobody thought this fire was going to do this. And then when it started at 6:30 p.m., only my parents and my sister got out because it was across the street from where she lived. She saw it.
Right.
Let's go.
That's how I found out. I was at the Olive Garden in Arcadia.
You were at Olive Garden in Arcadia. So for
as soon as I hit Mitchell-Linda,
and this
I
lie,
didn't get any more alerts.
Yeah, and this lie that, oh, they didn't alert the west side. What the west side is Fair Oaks. You lived on the east side. And they were at Olive Garden and got an alert. People said they were in La Cañada and got an alert. But Altadenians didn't get alerts because the towers started going out. Stuff started blowing. The fire was happening. And when the communication system goes down because that stuff is not there, how do you expect to get an alert? Like, I'm so tired of the shenanigans and the lies. Like, I'm for real over it, y'all. And you know, I started this show today by giving honor and thinking about people that are still going through it, but we still have this bullcrap narrative that is west of Lake and west side this, and they forgot about us. And that if we want to blame the county because they forgot about Altadena, period. Say that. Don't say west side. Don't say, oh, this, that. They didn't alert us over here, but they did over here. Because no, they didn't. Didn't nobody on the east side get no damn alert. So quit saying it when you don't know the truth and it's a lie that you just have heard and are regurgitating. Because that makes you just as bad as a Trumper that wants to
I drove through there.
Constantly says.
And I took the streets all the way back. So it was like
sure did.
Didn't get nothing. I'm filming the whole time. Now, mind you, I got 2 phones. So all the phones gonna get the alerts. They just stopped.
See, y'all don't never see me get upset. And I apologize. Because I've cursed a little bit. Lord, please forgive me. And I don't like cursing, and especially on a public platform. But when I say, and Heavenly, I'm not mad at you. Maybe it was good that you brought that subject up because this needed to come out. But when I say I'm so tired of people complaining is not going to get you anywhere. It's going to keep you stagnant. It's going to keep you angry. It's going to keep you just right here. Find something positive to do, even if it's taking a walk, whatever. And get beyond that, because otherwise us as a community cannot do what we need to do to come back stronger. And like Marcus said, united, and it be about Altadena. Forget this east-west bullcrap. But if you want to keep it up, please know that the facts are Fair Oaks is the street that makes the west side west and the east side east, not Lake. So all those people that live between Lake and Fair Oaks that say they forgot about us on the west side, nah. They didn't. You lived on the east side and they forgot about all of it. If we want to talk about, oh, the fire department forgot about somebody. I have a different mindset. I don't believe they forgot. I don't necessarily believe they just were like, oh, screw it. But I do know with the winds the way they were, and this is common sense. If you got 80, 90, 100 mile an hour gusts, I would not ask a pilot in an aircraft or a helicopter to go up and risk their lives either, because the winds were too bad.
Bryan's pilot.
And you got smoke, you got stuff where you can't see, and the winds are crazy. If they dumped some stuff, how many houses would they really have saved, right? So I don't know if common sense went out the window because people just want to be angry about this or what, but where's common sense, people? So you lost a house, but you still have a life, you still have insurance, you might be fighting with, you're gonna come back, but you'd rather risk pilots going up and losing their entire lives and their families not having them for the rest of their lives over something that's material like a house? To me, again, this ain't Brian, this ain't Jamal, I don't speak for everybody. Antoinette Elizabeth Bailey Rains. Me, Toni Bailey Rains. That makes no sense. That does not sit with the logic in my brain. So there it is. Now for real, I'm a woosah. Whew. And I'm gonna need to go take a walk after the show.
No, I think you need to get in the jacuzzi after that.
I might go do that too. I might go take a walk and then come back and go out back and get in that. Because man, oh man, oh man, I don't get it. I for real, you guys don't get it. I'm sorry. But Heavenly, thank you. I'm not mad at you. And thank you that you asked, did we bring the subject up? Because no, we had not talked about it yet. And I know for me personally, this is why I have not. Because I know that what the Attorney General has been told is not factual. It's not the truth. And I hope that if he does a good job in investigating, that he investigates and realizes that some of the people of those 19 that passed away, like on Boston, that's the east side. On Tonya and Alicia, that's the east side. On lots of places in Altadena, the lady Kim who died, that lived next to Don and down the street from Zaire. On Las Flores, that's the east side, because they were in between Fair Oaks and Marengo. So when people say, oh, all the 19 lives that died on the west side of Altadena, that's not the truth. If we're going to speak it, let's speak the truth. So, anywho.
Thank you.
All right, now I'm going to go on mute because I for real need to breathe. And y'all go on and take it away. Whatever you need to do.
Well, I guess that will segue right into the announcements.
I was trying to look for something else, a different sound too. But okay. Wow, Toni, very again, well said, very thorough, very accurate, and it's one of those things you want people to think before they react, right? So you want to have all the information as accurate as possible. You want to make sure that you are just being respectful of everyone correctly as well too. So I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing that.
Where Kim Green at? She missed this whole little segment.
Right. Yeah, where's she been?
I'm gonna have to send it to her during the announcements.
All right, I'm gonna do the local stuff righteously. Let me take this down, and here we go. Maybe. Yes, man. Toni, please take a deep breath and reset after, while I do these announcements. But thank you for sharing your point of view. So we'll talk about the Project Passion. They have their Freedom Shop for Eaton Fire survivors. They're available Mondays and Tuesdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., as well as Saturdays now from 9 a.m. to 12. It's at Harambe Ministries, which is located at 1609 Navarro Avenue in Pasadena. To book your appointment, you can go to calendly.com/Project Passion Inc. All one word, all capitalized. And the other option is for you to scan the QR code. Also, we have, and there's a new flyer for this. I'm going to bring that out the next time. But the Eden Health Village is actually still providing the free medical and mental health clinics on Mondays and Wednesdays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. You can set up your appointment either in person or you can call 951-595-7032. That phone number is also available for questions. The location is 1280 East Washington Boulevard in Pasadena. So definitely set up your appointment if you're interested. There is an actual FEMA appeals clinic happening in Altadena today from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Collaboratory, which is at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. The information we'll be able to get from here is going to be a step-by-step guidance on filing the appeal, information on your rights in the appeal process, as well as for eligible clients, legal consultations and help drafting an appeal letter. To register, you can go to lafla.org/fires or also scan the QR code. And there is an in-person grief circle in Pasadena. It's happening today from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 145 North Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. This is the Armory Center for the Arts, and it will be in the Creativity and Community Care Room. It's a supportive space for connection, reflection, and healing. There's ongoing grief support held on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. Feel free to bring snacks and beverages, no alcohol though, so that you can share this stuff with everybody. For more information, please reach out to Gabby at raicestherapy.co. And then, as we know, every Wednesday at the world famous Fair Oaks Burger at 2560 North Fair Oaks Avenue, Juicy Little Finds Thrift Store has the We Out Here market. And last week was the 1-year anniversary of her providing those donations and services for everybody. So hopefully folks went out there for that event, but she continues tomorrow. There's going to be fresh produce and groceries, free smoothies, and more. Again, it's every Wednesday, 12 to 3. And if you're interested, donations and volunteers are still needed. And if you want to do that, you can actually reach out to juicylittle.org. All right, folks, Altadena Heals actually have another men's circle with Yancey Cummins and Mike De La Rocha happening this Thursday, the 26th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Paseo, which is 300 East Colorado Boulevard, Suite 151. You can reserve your spot at bit.ly/D as in Dina, H as in heels, sacred lessons. And again, they have something on Saturday. This is free yoga. It's guided by Yancey Cummins. Doors open at 9. Class starts at 9:15. Still at the Paseo Outdoor Mall, 300 East Colorado Boulevard. Again, Suite 151. The yoga mats are provided and walk-ins are welcome. However, registration is suggested. And you can RSVP by going to bit.ly/D as in Dina, H as in heels, -yoga. And then we have the community pancake breakfast happening on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Victory Bible Church, which is located at 1497 North Hill Avenue in Pasadena. It's a free breakfast for Eden Fire survivors where they'll be provided information about rebuilding with a nonprofit builder. And you can register by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen. And there will be an Easter basket giveaway happening this Sunday, March 29th at 2 p.m. It'll also be at Fair Oaks Burger. Man, they're a great place to actually have these events, and thank them for making their space available. Again, it's 2560 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Altadena. So it says this Easter, they're giving away toys and Easter baskets for children and families affected by the Eden Canyon fires. Children must be present to receive a basket and toys. So there's going to be arts and crafts, piñatas, treats, looks like raffles and giveaways. So definitely check this out if you have the availability. And if you have questions, you can send an email to homekings13@gmail.com. And then the 5th annual Jazzy Jam Glam Prom Dress and Suit giveaway is happening on March 28th and 29th at the Paseo, which again is, this will be at from 10 to 4 p.m. And this is at 300 East Colorado Boulevard. Not sure exactly which suites it's going to be in, but if you register and set up your appointment by scanning the QR code, you'll be able to get that additional information. And for those people who are unaware of what this is, they're going to be providing vintage and new suits as well as dresses to all of the local high school seniors. And there's also going to be everything else that they need for their special night. So share this information with any high school seniors that might be in need of getting some of these clothings and getting ready for their prom. And the Black Excellence in Art exhibit is still being shown at the Eden Fire Collaborative at 540 West Woodbury Road. There will be a closing ceremony this Saturday, the 28th of March from 6 to 8 with words from the artists. So between now and then, please check it out and support the local artists. And then Altadena Build Together Fair is happening on Saturday, April 11th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be at Victory Park, which is at 2575 Paloma Street, Pasadena, where you get to connect with residents, with trusted professionals to help you move forward. And to register, you can go ahead and scan the QR code on the screen. And we're going to wrap it up with the Masters of Taste 2026, which is the premier food festival bringing together the region's most talented chefs, restaurants, wineries, breweries, and spirit brands for one unforgettable evening at the Rose Bowl Stadium. It's taking place on the 19th of April from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And again, at the Rose Bowl Stadium on the grass area. And this is all benefiting Union Station Homeless Services, whose local chapter or branch or office here in Pasadena was very helpful and still is for those who were survivors of the Eden Fire. So definitely want to check this out, get some good food, and help out a great cause. With that, I'm going to bring Toni and Brian back into the fray if they are available. One of the two is. I think Toni will pop, or Brian will pop back in a minute. How you feeling now? You get some woosahs? I know you're muted, I think, too, right now. But, man, sometimes you got to get that stuff off your chest. And it's okay for you to cuss a little bit. You know?
I do. I am breathing better. I will say that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, though, because it can get under your skin when you continue to hear certain things that you know they're shooting for something other than what they're claiming they are, right? Yeah. So there's undertones of, not such good stuff. Couldn't think of the proper word, but I'll use that phrasing. So I'm glad you're calling it out and sharing.
People want to be known for doing something major in Altadena as part of the recovery. I think every person who lost something, a business, a home, a school, a church, may have a house still standing, but a loss of community, anything that they feel that was lost is doing something amazing, right? Yeah. But we don't need people, again, that want to try to divide the community by saying inaccurate things, right? Let's be accurate. Let's tell the truth. Let's not beef up and create a story, because in this age we're all about storytelling, right? And we have all this social media that's like, okay, make it this story. No, make it the truth, because the truth is always going to rise to the top, versus you trying to make something into the truth by having something else. Just be honest, have integrity. That's how I was raised. Have integrity and character and be honest, right? So I think if we do that, then what's going to come out of it will. If they had gone to the Attorney General's office with the truth and he said, well, it happened all over Altadena, we don't feel the need to investigate, then that would have been it. And that might have been what happened. I don't know, because I haven't been part of that process. But to have this whole narrative of something other than what it really is, that's troubling to me, and that's what bothers me more than anything. So I think that if we stick with the truth, be honest about it, and say, instead of having signs and T-shirts, they forgot about us in West Altadena. Well, you better check your address, because you didn't even live in West Altadena, But again, it's Altadena, period, and nobody was forgotten about. I think it was the perfect storm. It was circumstances well beyond any human being's control when it comes to the weather, right? Whether we knew about it a week in advance or days leading up to it, that we were going to have a crazy windstorm.
Yeah. Nobody expected it to be on that magnitude.
And there was nothing that could have been prevented, because once the fire started, even though the skies might have been blue during the day, when that fire smoke gets to blowing and it's black, you can't see. You're not going to be able to get anybody up there in the sky to do anything. JPL and what's the Mount Wilson are protected because they have firefighting departments at each of those locations because they are national security protected, right? They're vital to our national security, both Mount Wilson and JPL. So they have their own fire departments stationed at each, and they're going to make sure those things don't burn down. Because if Mount Wilson burns down, the world is right. And it's the world that will be affected, not just California. The same with things at JPL. So, because people were even mad about that. Well, why did they send firefighters over there? Again, you don't know. You're just talking out the side of your neck because JPL has its own fire department, So people just get riled up, and we've seen crowds, riots, things like that. When people get together and one or two people have, let's, right? It's that whole herd mentality of let's all be mad, let's all whatever. But no, let's do some fact finding, get down to what the truth is, and then speak the truth.
Exactly.
And what's supposed to come out of the investigations from the truth will come out versus let's make up this story. Let's put a little extra on it and get them to investigate. And then if it comes back by what the truth was, and it's not what people wanted, the outcome of that investigation, then they're going to find something to be mad about from that. So what do you really gain by creating a story or giving half truths is my point. And people that have been here, again, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, welcome to Altadena, but learn the history of Altadena before you start talking foolishness. Because even the thing that, Altadena is a historically Black community. No, it's not. It absolutely is not. The Woodburys founded it. It's 139 years old this year, but it was not founded by Black folks. It is not a historically Black community. Never has been. Now, to say that a bulk of Black people, when they decided to build the 210 freeway that lived right there where it goes, were forced out, and then there was redlining on one side, and when they were forced out because of redlining, they were primarily pushed to Northwest Altadena. But there's a whole lot that live all over Altadena. And so, because somebody told me, I didn't know no Black folks lived east of Lake. I was like, what? Like, what?
Whole bunch.
Audra lives literally her mama's house, and her mother's house didn't burn, but from my house, our porch, you could see, and they moved in that house when I was 13. So, but like, there's a whole bunch of Black, and then David Terry lived right across the street from her. And though David Terry's white, you would think David Terry's Black because he thinks
David Terry's blue-eyed soul.
Right. And so we all grew up together and stuff, but there's so many people that I could just name off, right? Larry and Gilbert Fitzgerald, Lori and Jeff Childs, Margot Denise Felicia Glasgow. Like, I can tell you exactly what corner their houses were on, all this. I mean, Veronica Cole was up on Parkman above me. Tracy, what was her last name? Talbert, I think, lived up on Alta Pine. I could just tell you all the spots, over on the east side where Black families bought early on, 60s and 70s, and lived. And yes, I think it's sad that people that grew up west of Fair Oaks or wherever, or even east of Fair Oaks, were told that you can't go east of Lake. That is the most banana shenanigans I've ever heard in my life. But literally, when Heavenly and I don't know, maybe 6 weeks now, had this conversation, she said she was literally told, you do not go on the east side of Lake because that's the east side, we're the west side. I'm like, wait a minute. If you went to Elliott, you had to go on the east side of Lake. You had to go down Lake, and Elliott was on the east side of Lake. Like, I can't imagine people being told
There's certain
that.
people's thought processes. I got a friend of mine that won't go below Colorado.
Why?
Because he said he'll catch a case. I'm like, dude, this is not the dope days from 1983.
Colorado and what?
Fair Oaks.
I'm baffled, for real.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
I was looking at him like, okay, We're trying to go to Cheesecake Factory to get everybody to eat. You can't go across Colorado, right there.
And he really couldn't on the corner?
I don't know. That's what he said.
That's mind-boggling to me. Like, seriously, because there was
first of all, it's like if you was a gangbanger.
That is what it is.
That's my territory. Well, did you buy the property? Because neither one of y'all gonna be able to claim nothing.
Now, we weren't allowed to go hang out like at Snake Pits or King Manors or whatever, right? But it's not because it was the West Side or whatever. It's because of the activities that were going on there, right? Lots of drugs, lots of gang activities, stuff like that when I was growing up. So that was those were forbidden places that we couldn't go. But that was for the safety of our life, right? Our well-being. And our parents were like, you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't. And we knew that. But and I don't know, maybe people were told they couldn't go Easter Lake for those same reasons. I really don't know. But I do know that some people thought it was only white folks and not catch a case, but they might be lynched or, something like that if they went east of Lake. And then, like I said, the horribleness of some of the sheriffs that were at the Altadena station when we were growing up, that was factual, that they would snatch up Black and Latino young men, take them up in Cheney Trail, beat them up, whatever, just on a whim, not even because you were doing anything.
Oh, but I know folks. I graduated with that happened too.
Huh?
I know folks I went to high school with that happened to.
I do too.
In the 80s.
Yeah. And I mean, I lived over on, when I first moved back to California, I was on La Fiesta, which is off of like Fair Oaks Ventura by Charles White Park. And that's west. But my sons are what, 29 and 38 or whatever, but they had trouble just walking in our neighborhood. And so I remember one time my son was walking from one of his friends and was coming to the house, and I had to go outside and stare down the sheriffs. And I was like, they were trying to talk to him. I said, come on. And he was like, no, ma'am, he can't. I said, yes, he can, because he is not detained. And you are not doing an FI card on my son. And he looked, because, a lot of people don't know FI card is a field interview card. I said, yeah, I'm prior law enforcement. You're not finna get over on this one. And I told my son, I said, come on and go right in the house. And I said, what's your probable cause for stopping my son? And he was like, I said, exactly, nothing. And you're not detaining him. Go to the house. But because I was law enforcement, I knew how to talk to a law enforcement officer, right? And when he knew he wasn't finna punk my son, because I was right there and I knew what I was talking about, he couldn't do nothing but let my son walk away. But that was over there by Charles White Park. So, and this was, 20 years ago, or was he 38? So before 18, 25 years ago or something like that. But the fact is, like, didn't matter where you were in Altadena. Yes, notoriously, the sheriff's office up there has been horrible, especially in the 70s and 80s, probably 90s with African-American and Latino young men. And so that happened, though, everywhere in Altadena. I can remember it happening to my brother not far from our house, right? On east of Lake, if people want to say that. And so it was happening, but it was the culture of policing, which a lot of it is still relevant or still happens today. And it happened all over Altadena. Maybe people didn't know that, but again, that's talking to somebody who has a history and that knows. And once you find that out, you'll realize all of Altadena experienced the same kind of stuff. Y'all just gonna not say nothing?
Well, meanwhile, Trump is glad that Robert Mueller died. He even mentioned it.
That butthole.
He's only 2 years older than you, Trump. You like right there.
And everybody waiting on him to kick the bucket. Trust me, like it's gonna be a national party. Cousin Ed and family right there with you too, Tony. Yeah. It just so much of it. So I think what needs to happen is the older generation, the middle-aged generation like us, and the younger generation, there needs to be representatives from all to sit down and talk and get some clarity and share and pass down some of the real history, because too many people don't know it. And then when you have attorneys from out of town coming in town and they don't know it, and they start hearing stuff from a certain set of people, then they run with that, even though it might not be factual. And that's what is the bad thing. And we can't allow it. We got to stand up and say, no, that's not even right.
That's true.
And how we're gonna only talk about Black folks again when at the same time in the 30s and whatever, it was the Japanese too, who had settled here after the war in Pasadena, but the redlining took effect. And so the first two major subsets of people outside of the Native Americans, right? Because we know when their land got taken, but in Pasadena that migrated up to Altadena were Japanese and Black people. And so if we want to talk about us, let's make sure we include them too, because they're right there with us.
Well, I'm glad that we got some people on our side. Nationwide ain't on your side. State Farm ain't either. And farmers claim they on their side, but I don't know.
What is their motto, their slogan?
Farmers.
Who's the one that's not Nationwide, the other one? State Farm.
State Farm.
State Farm, yes. And they're really not on people's side.
And State Farm had the nerve. They had the nerve.
For that commercial for the Super
Bowl. You know, half everybody at the party I was at saying, live. I should have did a viral video when that show and just showed the crowd. Like, everybody, they lying. They spent all that money just for people to say nope.
And you know who I really feel sorry for or bad for? I don't know if it's bad or I'll say I have empathy for. Is Terza West. Because Terza, you know, is an Altadenian, Wintermere, all that, knows everybody. And Terza has built an amazing insurance business from the time I think she might have been in her early 30s. But she's a State Farm broker, like has her own agency and has agents working under her. And boy, oh boy, do I feel for her because State Farm is giving people the blues. The corporation. And to be a broker and have all these clients.
We are farmers. Yeah, I remember. I couldn't remember the words. Thanks, Sherry.
Yeah. But anyway, I apologize everybody that had to see me.
This is your segment, and you had to talk. Right?
No,
this is Toni Talks, and you had to get it. Yeah. But
I usually try to stay, you know, pretty level-headed and keep my cool and not curse and everything. So I don't want. Wait a minute. So why? The reason I am apologizing to our viewers is because I don't want to be offensive to anyone. That's what I'm apologizing for. Not for what I said. It needed to be said. It needed to get off my chest. But if I offended any of our viewers by my language, I am apologizing for that. I still stand by everything I said as far as I think it's BS. I think it's, you know, and we need to get the narrative correct and make sure that we're accurate. But I apologize because I'm a woman of faith. People know I talk about God all the time. And I even cursed today and I really try not to. So I apologize for my language, not the fact that I needed to get it out. So go on, what were you going to say about, Brian?
Sometimes Mount St. Helens needs to erupt.
And she did today.
That part. How about
that part? She was Mount St. Helens, Pompeii, and Krakatoa.
Kilauea, everything, right. Isn't that Kilauea or something in Hawaii, the big one that every now and then just blows and goes crazy?
Oh, yeah, it's always got that black sand.
Isn't it going right now?
Yeah.
Isn't it recently? I thought it went.
No, there's flooding going on.
Yeah, but I thought it erupted about a week or two ago too, as well.
I don't know. So yeah, that's what the apology is for. Not because Brian was like, It was for my.
No, because that's what I was going to say. I said, we're not going to disturb Mount St. Helens. She may erupt, and today was the day.
Yeah.
We should have that sound effect in the background. Fire was great. Fire! That was a good one.
Yeah, you should have. The little fireworks and the sounds and all that going on.
That sound effect right there is when somebody gets smacked in the face like they're riding a skateboard, they run right in the wall. Fire! Ain't nothing else you can say. If you could even get a word out.
Anywho. We love
Sherry
y'all.
said, I'm glad you mentioned that
Yeah.
the Japanese were here also. There were a lot of Japanese students in New York. Yes, we had
Oh,
the
yeah.
melting pot, this whole town. I mean, I
Yeah,
think when desegregation happened, we followed suit out here too.
That's
we
right.
had everything.
There
Yep.
is, let me see if I can find it. There's an amazing documentary on Altadena and Pasadena and the redlining and everything on YouTube. They did this debut of it maybe 3 to 4 months in after the fires, and it was held at Victory Bible Church, at my church. And so I went, and when I tell you guys, they had a lot of the elders in that, and people. Allison Moses, if I'm not mistaken, was even in it. But it was, let me see what it was called.
Well, you look at that. Kilauea did erupt on March 11th. What was that? Yeah. Shooting lava up 1,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then it rained, so it probably cooled all, made a new island somewhere. You know, it's amazing that those islands were all made from volcanoes.
Not the McNally house. Let me see.
It's amazing how far down they go to touch the bottom of the ocean. That's
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
crazy, you know,
Yeah.
'cause
Oh, yeah, they're
Hey,
huge.
You seem like islands would be floating, because that's what I thought when I was little. I'm like, oh, they islands, that means they float, but
Nah,
that's actually coming up from like miles down of it's a big piece of earth, for lack of a better word to describe it.
I'm going to try to find, and maybe we can put the link up tomorrow and show some of this documentary. I really, really, really want to find it. But when I tell you, it is an amazing full history documentary on Altadena itself, and Pasadena, the redlining, all of that, about how I didn't know until I watched that the freeways, when you go throughout SoCal or anywhere, I guess this is nationwide, but definitely in California, do you notice the communities where freeways are elevated versus where freeways are parallel with homes? Like La Cañada, when you take the 210 over, the freeway goes through and everything's like that. When you come into Pasadena, down where it goes, where it was gonna meet with the 710 and even above, and by Mirror and all that, is elevated above houses, right? They're below. That was by design, y'all.
Because I want you to see the neighborhoods.
Not only the neighborhoods, but what happens when car exhaust goes through those neighborhoods and it's elevated? What happens with the exhaust? Where does it go? It dissipates and floats down, right? You know, they've been poisoning minority neighborhoods for generations with pollutants and water and all kinds of stuff. So I didn't even know till I watched that documentary that, Amplify, voices of people and families displaced by the freeway construction in Pasadena. Okay, this I believe is it. The city of Pasadena helped it, and it's a 40-minute documentary. I'm gonna put this link in here. And oops, wait. That was gonna be the public one. Yeah. This is a documentary I saw. It was pretty amazing though. And I learned a lot from that documentary. It's an oral history documentary, but it's voices of people that were impacted. They're saying it's an extension of Jim Crow. And the city of Pasadena did this documentary. So, you know, they've got the money, the funding to get the accurate information and all that. And I was really profoundly impacted.
Freeways were being used as an extension of Jim Crow laws.
You can keep talking. I just muted it.
Yeah. And so the people that were in it, man, it's please, if you guys can watch that, I will put the name of it in the regular chat, and you guys can look for it, because if we put the link in the chat, it's not going to do anything. But here's the name of it. And this is where you do hear from everybody, Black, white, Japanese, everything about the freeway construction, the displacement, Rick Osaka is coming up next after him, and he's a Japanese descendant. I'm sorry. That's Mr. Riddle, and we know who, like Falante and them, their family. But it's just amazing at the information that I got from that documentary. And this was 11 or so months ago, and I was like, wow. And so I started doing a lot more research on my own and found out, that this is true. But the Japanese, this white lady that comes up right after him, or Mr. Osaka, shows a picture of their house on Pasadena Avenue and how they were displaced. And so it wasn't only Black people. And again, if we don't know the true history, we can give any narrative that's out there, but it was us, it was other white folks, it was Japanese folks, it was a lot of people that were displaced because specifically of the freeway. And what they were told was to go up into Northwest Pasadena and Altadena, where they could buy a little bit easier. So if you have a moment, 40 minutes out of your day or something, take a look at this documentary. It's really, really good. I think it was well thought out and researched and everything. And I learned a lot from it last year. So, we just got to keep on doing what we need to. When we do something, we try to vet and get accurate facts before we bring it on here and discuss anything. So I've heard and I've seen articles and press conferences about the investigation, but I have not read the filing or whatever went to the Attorney General. I think that would, if I could find that, I'll do some research and look at that, because I would like to see what was presented to the Attorney General's office for them to do an investigation, and how much of it anybody with a computer, even a phone, can dispel some of what they said versus how much is accurate. Because you're going to the Attorney General, don't be going with a bunch of lies or hyped up stuff to create a story and a narrative for him to investigate. Not saying that that's all what happened, but we are in the age of storytelling and people embellish a lot. So I would love to see the filing. So.
Thank you.
Well, I think that about covers today. We've been on an hour and 12 minutes.
That definitely covers today. You're welcome, Marcus. Really good documentary.
He said, that definitely covers today. Now sit down somewhere and let me get in my jacuzzi and woo-saw my way to start.
Exactly. Woosah, I'm drinking some water and eating some pumpkin seeds.
Exactly.
I heard that. Who did that? Jamal? Woosah. Do it again? Exactly.
We just said exactly.
Slow your roll. Oh, man.
I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Tune in mañana, Wednesday, Hump Day, and Wellness Wednesdays, and we'll talk to you then.
And I'll be more woosah on Wellness Wednesday. Bye, guys.